Hi guys, welcome back, and today I'll be doing the next part for this What If. Now let's not waste too much time because there's a lot of action in this episode. Now let's jump straight into it. Now we joined the group right where we left off, with Goku arriving to save the day, and like normal he starts sharing some senzu beans out between the three surviving warriors, who are happy to see that Goku's here. Piccolo, who tells him he took his time, makes Goku chuckle a bit. Now when Goku starts to sense Nappa and Vegeta, Cabba, he turns his attention towards them. The three Saiyans stood in front of him all look a bit strong, and Cabba begins to look over Goku and feels a bit of anger. This is the person who killed his best friend, and on top of that, it's his brother. He also feels responsible for all the people that Goku's lost today. He's lost a lot of friends from the sounds of it, and he feels a bit bad about that. There's a lot of inner conflict going on inside of Cabba, and he doesn't really want to fight Goku just yet. So like normal, Nappa does go up to fight Goku, with him thinking that Goku is much weaker than him, when in actual fact, Goku easily takes down Nappa, without really having to use much energy, and like normal, he doesn't kill Nappa. It shocks Cabba. He wasn't expecting to see mercy from a Saiyan, and on top of that, he is the person who killed his best friend. Cabba, like I said, is actually really surprised by this. He wasn't expecting Goku to be so, well, kind. He saved Nappa, even though he murdered hundreds and destroyed cities, and he's killed some of his friends. Cabba, who is now angry thinking he didn't give Raditz this chance, shouts out, "Why didn't you give your brother Raditz a chance to survive?" Making Goku pause and actually looked a bit confused. He responds with saying, "I did, multiple times, but my brother just didn't take any of the opportunities that I offered, and actually attacked me every time I gave him the chance to leave or live out his life on Earth. And this left me and Piccolo no other option but to kill him. It sucks because he was really strong and I wanted to train with him, but I suppose if he was going to act like that, I had no other option." This takes Cabba back. He didn't kill his brother just to kill him. He did it to survive and did it to protect his planet, and he even offered his friend an outing. When Vegeta looks towards Cabba asking if he wants a round against Kakarot, Cabba says no, he doesn't want to, and actually starts flying towards Nappa to get him away from the battlefield a little bit. But before he can get too close, when Cabba's about to reach down and grab him, Vegeta kills him. This shocks Cabba. He wasn't ready for that, and he is actually falls to the floor. He's scared, actually. He's never expected Vegeta to kill Nappa. They were close, friends, or something at least. They got on, and now he doesn't understand why he just killed him. Vegeta just says he was weak, he wouldn't have survived. There's no such room for pathetic Saiyans like that. Cabba now realises that none of them mean anything to Vegeta. They're just a pawn in a game to Vegeta, and if Vegeta wants to, he can kill Cabba if he becomes too much of a burden. Cabba freezes up, he's on the floor and he's sort of sweating. He thinks over what he wants to do, and for a moment it feels like time stands still. He thinks about running away, but what if Frieza, or even Vegeta, find him? They'll kill him. He doesn't want to stay with Vegeta, as he thinks at some point he'll just become dead, like Nappa. He's going over hundreds of ideas, and it all seems to end in his death. And he's just unsure of what to do, and he's actually really zoned out in fear. And he only sort of pulls out when he hears the sound of Vegeta and Goku flying off to start a fight. Cabba, not wanting to follow, sits there still, trying to figure out what to do. He's so shocked he can't really figure it out. Now, over on the sidelines, Piccolo, Gohan and Krillin are still there, and they're actually really weirded out by the fact that Cabba's just sort of sat there and not moving. But Piccolo says that he wants to take this opportunity to get a good hit on the Saiyan, just in case he turns around and tries to attack them. But Gohan actually has already started approaching Cabba, and this makes Piccolo panic, and he's getting ready to rush to fight Cabba, but he doesn't. He hears Gohan share something with Cabba, saying, "You're not like the other Saiyans, are you?" This makes Cabba a bit shocked. He even more than he is now, he's flustered. And he actually almost reacted and punched Gohan, but he doesn't. Gaining himself some composure, he sits there and sort of wants to give Gohan the silent treatment. But the more he looks at the young Saiyan, he begins to open up. I guess I don't agree with all the murder we do. Heck, I don't even get along with Vegeta and Nappa. They're so violent and they just murder people. I try to avoid it as much as possible, but sometimes it's unavoidable. But even though I didn't like Nappa that much, it's still incredibly scary to see him die. Vegeta and Nappa were good friends, closer than me and him was, and he murdered Nappa without really thinking about it. I would just be incinerated before I even got a chance to speak. But I don't have any other options but to stay with Frieza. Otherwise, I die. If I don't follow Vegeta's rule, I get killed. If I run away and Lord Frieza finds me, I get killed. If I do anything out of line, Frieza will kill us. Frieza's a monster. He's ruled over us for years, and I don't have any other options. At least when Raditz was alive, it wasn't all bad. Heck, I only ever came to this planet just to see if I could bring him back with those Dragon Balls, but I just had hope that maybe they could revive people. He sits there a little bit, silent. He looks over to Gohan and says, "Look, I'm sorry about what I did to you and to your friends earlier. I just got angry after all. Your Namekian friend did kill my friend, but luckily I snapped out of it." Gohan, who did sit and listen, wants to know more and is actually interested to learn more about Saiyans. As he talks to Cabba, it sort of reminds him of talking to his own father, which is shocking because the three other Saiyans Gohan's met weren't anything like this. Krillin, who wasn't really expecting what to happen, walked over just to make sure Gohan was alright and had some backup if things go sideways, and heard most of the things said by the Saiyan. And much like Gohan, trusts him a little bit now. Now, while this has been happening, the fight between Goku and Vegeta has been going on, much like it did in canon, with Goku winning the Beam Clash and Vegeta soon going Great Ape afterwards. Now, the group can all sense that Vegeta has grown a lot stronger, and Piccolo actually shouts out to everyone that he's flying off to help Goku, come along if you want to help, with Krillin following shortly after. And Gohan sits there, we're getting ready to fly off, but looks over to Cabba to say something. "You know, I don't think you're a bad guy. I can tell by the way you act, by the way you talk, by even the way you fight, you're a good person. And I'm sure my father can tell that as well. And if you want, you can stay here with us." Well, that's if we manage to stop Vegeta, but if you don't want, you should leave the planet now, while there's an opening. Saying this, Gohan flies off, a little bit behind the other two. But while he's flying off, Cabba's shocked. He wasn't ever expecting to hear anything so nice from someone ever in his life. He doesn't know what happened and why everyone's flown off, because he can't sense energy, but he decides he wants to figure out what's happening, and follows to see what's going on. And for the most part, the fight between Great Ape Vegeta and Goku goes like it did in canon, and Goku's pretty low on energy and pretty hurt. When Piccolo shows up, he does try to help Goku in any way he possibly can, but he's not really making a change for the fight. But on the fly here, he did shout out to Krillin to stay out of sight and get ready to remove the tail of the Great Ape with the Kiens on, with Krillin actually hiding behind some rocks, getting ready for the moment to strike. Gohan does arrive a bit later, and he jumps in to help the other two try and fight Vegeta. And at this point, Goku is having a very, very hard time keeping up. He's very low on energy, he feels like all of his body's broken apart, but he's staying in there. He's only just staying in the air with a lot of struggle. Cabba, who arrives a bit later and notices the power ball, making him look away from the power ball just to avoid turning into a Great Ape and getting into the fight before he does really know what he wants to do. Now, Vegeta, seeing Cabba arrive, asks him to take care of Piccolo and Gohan, saying that he's only interested in fighting Goku, so could you just take care of these two for him? Cabba, who doesn't really want to fight the person who just offered him a way out of the life he lives under Vegeta and Frieza, hesitates, and this makes Frieza him again, saying how he is a pathetic excuse for a Saiyan who is a waste of breath. However, while he is mocking Cabba, he is not paying attention to his surroundings well enough, and Krillin, seeing the opportunity, throws his Kiens on. Vegeta does notice it and does dodge it, but unfortunately it doesn't manage to catch his tail. So Vegeta then just starts laughing, saying if that's the best attempt the group has, they might as well just give up and kill themselves. Hearing this, the group begin to panic. Goku had left the fight a while now to try and finish his Spirit Bomb to finish his fight. However, he just hasn't had enough time, and he doesn't have the energy to build it up. So he's still not even halfway done. And Vegeta is now slowly walking towards Goku to kill him. Krillin, Piccolo and Gohan are all trying to defend him and slow down Vegeta, however they just don't have enough power between them to stop Vegeta, who is 100 times stronger than them. So they're all beginning to panic quite a bit. Now, as he gets closer to Goku, he starts messing up his friends, and he's flinging Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin away from him. And just before he is about to step down and kill Goku, he feels a tug on his back, and he turns around to see Cabba, who looked at the Powerball becoming a great ape. He's now willing to fight Vegeta. Cabba doesn't really understand why he reacted the way he did, but all he knows is he doesn't want Kakarot to die, so he's had to stop Vegeta. Now, Vegeta, who laughs at this and starts saying, "You finally got some guts, did you? Too bad you're going to die," and starts charging up a mouth beam in his mouth to kill Cabba. However, before he can launch it, his tail's cut off. Yajirobe was still there during the fight, and he was watching the whole time. Seeing an opening, he thought he would help out this little bit, and then he's leaving. And he did help. He managed to destroy the tail. And now we see Vegeta slowly shrinking, making Cabba's life a lot easier. And Vegeta, who's panicking, thinking that Cabba might crush him in a Great Ape, does destroy the Powerball. So the two are slowly shrinking before they could actually do any real damage to each other in Great Ape. So now the fight is beginning to happen while the two are shrinking. And to be honest, Cabba actually stands a good chance here. Vegeta is quite heavily injured and he's very tired, where Cabba is nearly full health and pretty much hasn't really wasted any energy. So as they're shrinking, Cabba's actually landed in some good blows, hurting Vegeta quite a bit. Now, once they're on the floor, Cabba does pretty much have Vegeta nearly lost, but Vegeta, still having a lot of power difference between the two, is still putting up a decent fight. Gohan, who sees this as an opportunity to help, jumps in and tries to start fighting Vegeta himself, and to be honest, he actually does do quite a good job, making the fight a lot more even. So now, once this fight is going on, Goku does still think to try and charge the Spirit Bomb, but it's still taking a very long time. However, Cabba and Gohan managed to get Vegeta down in a position to kill him quite easily, with Cabba taking a few injuries along the way. So this is how that fight went. And like normal, Vegeta does call his ship to escape. And Cabba, who's trying to catch his breath, he still fought quite heavily and is still trying to gain some of the energy back he lost. Doesn't have the energy to stop the ship from coming. He does have Yajirobe's sword nearby, but Goku, like normal, asks for him not to kill Vegeta, with Gohan agreeing, even though reluctantly, and Cabba trusting Gohan, and also finally seeing this as an opportunity to escape from the Saiyan, doesn't do it either. So like normal, Vegeta does get to survive. And for the most part, this is going to go pretty normal. Cabba, who sits there kind of awkwardly for a while the group get taken to the hospital, he doesn't really speak. But when the group does arrive at Wukong Hospital, he begins to explain his story to Goku. Everyone is really reluctant to be around Cabba at the start, but Gohan, Goku and Krillin trust him, so everyone starts to open up to him a bit more. However, I'm probably going to leave this timeline off here for now. So I just want to ask a question. Do you think that Cabba should go with Gohan's group to Namek or Goku to Namek? Keep in mind the groups still have to go to Namek to revive Chaozu, who's already been revived with the Earth Balls. So which group should he go with? There'll be a poll up in the right, just let me know. And also I just want to say have a great day or a good night.